8 of my 12-week year. Actually, this is my second one, and this time we're kind of like concentrating on stopping overeating or reducing it at least quite amount, and I mean, I'm on a good way. Let's check in with week 5 and 6. So in week 5, I kind of like we're preparing to go on a vacation. I actually started traveling from Friday on, so it was definitely not the normal week. I think in week 4 I had like 83%, and the week before that 94%. So it was definitely less. In that week I reached 75%. I think I had mostly troubles with eating breakfast at home because I had to go to work earlier, and that all kind of like disrupted my morning routine. Also needed more downtime. I was feeling very stressed at work, but also at home, getting everything ready, and it was a bit more tricky for me to regulate, and I definitely could see that. I can definitely see when I'm not doing my usual routine, it is a bit more stressful and a bit more difficult for me. I also had like, I think one day where I had like an overeat, but I went to bed at least 4 times. I also weighed myself only once, so there were definitely parts that went really well. I ate most of the time at the table. I didn't try a new recipe, and I didn't have the headspace for that, and I usually try that on the weekend, so if I'm not home at the weekend, it won't make sense. But I measured myself again for the first time since we started the 12-week year, and I have to say I'm looking way more now on the measurements around my body and the body fat percentage than actually the weight. I definitely could see that I had lost like around 2% of body fat. Not sure if that is completely true, because the thing is, like with measuring yourself, it's so easy to like being wrong with 1 or 2 centimeters. So I take it with a grain of salt, but it looks like I have, like the trend is going downwards, so that's what we want. So I'm really happy with that. I also did my set the bar routine, which is a workout from Tone It Up that you can do every 2 to 4 weeks. I do it every 4th week. It's basically a fitness test with like push-ups, with burpees, with different exercises, and also counting your heart rate, resting heart rate. And I definitely could see a lot of improvement there as well. So that was really satisfying to see that I had made a progress there. And then in that week, I decided that I would do other workouts that I had done before, like kind of like a mashup of all the ones I did before. But then I ended up not doing any of them. I just did one workout that week because I didn't get so much done. But I got my weekly hike in because then I went to Croatia and we had a hike on Sunday. So in the end, a pretty good score. Very happy with that week. Let's continue with week 6. Week 6 had probably one of the best scores with 96%. I also decided to take out trying a new recipe and loading dishwasher because obviously I wasn't at home. I couldn't get a score in these 2, and that made the other scores like being higher rated. And then I think actually eating breakfast at home I could also take out, but I mean I ate breakfast every day with the others. I think I will still count it, but I'm really happy that I managed to journal almost every day. I was able to eat at the table most of the days. I didn't watch any YouTube videos, so that was easy. I also dismissed a few urges, but not many. I think I just increased by 4 from the previous week, so not so many. I did hiking, and then obviously I didn't weigh myself because I wasn't at home, but that obviously made it easy to get a really high score this week. In that week, I moved quite a lot. I went on hikes, I went on a bike ride, I went to the aqua park, I did a lot of swimming with the pool noodle, which I loved using. Also for making like my own aqua fitness workouts. You've probably seen a little bit from that in the previous videos from Croatia. I just loved it. I also found Balance 365, and I'm not want to talk too much about them here, but they are a company that is all about behavioral change over a long period. Women, if they want to just be healthy or if they want to lose fat, They are very welcome there, and I'm pretty sure I will join them in August. And I have been listening to the podcast. I can put it in the description box. I really like their way how they view life, health, realistic changes, also talking about body image and all of that. And I'm kind of happy to have found some people that do kind of like the same as I do, because it can be sometimes a bit lonely if you do something this way. And yeah, so happy that I found them. Last thing I wanted to mention is that I used the plate method during this holiday, and that worked really well. So the plate method is like you have half of the plate, you do fruits and veggies, and then 1/4 is kind of like grains, carbs, and then 1/4 is like protein. And then you have like a dot or 2 dots of fat. And yeah, they don't say like something about dessert, but what I realized when I ate dinner, when I followed that kind of method and then ate dessert, I left the table feeling really well. There was one day where I kind of like went for a second helping, and I definitely could feel that at the end of the day. Yeah, I felt a bit stuffed, and that gave me so much confidence and also insight that, oh, this is actually a really easy method. It makes you feel good afterwards, and you still can have dessert. So I think I definitely want to work on that, maybe in the next 12-week year, we'll see. And that's probably what we have to share about week 6. Let's talk about week 7, which has been one of my best weeks so far. It had 89%, and there was literally just one thing I didn't do, and that was hiking. Otherwise, I did really everything. I journaled, I read Brain Over Binge, I ate breakfast more than 4 times that week at home, I ate at the table 3 times, I only watched 1 video, and after coming home from work, I dismissed urges to overeat here, either on the sofa or in this chair. I loaded and unloaded my dishwasher every day, and I even tried a new recipe. I tried stuffed sweet potatoes, and I have to say I like sweet potato fries. I really like to make them, but that wasn't it. I don't know, I felt like the sweet potato just in a whole one was just so overwhelming sweet, and never thought that would be a problem because I love sweet things, but nah, I didn't like it. So I think with the normal potato it would be okay, so definitely gonna try again. But yeah, that was I tried a new recipe for this week. Definitely not going into my recipe box, but yeah, I tried. I also weighed in after the vacation, and obviously now I'm a bit up. I think I've gained 600 grams. Yeah, probably will take a while to kind of like go down again, and yeah, felt a little bit off after coming from vacation. I think that's very normal. But I was really proud because I even managed to do 2 TIU workouts, and also walked from work twice, so I did a really good job that week. I think I'm not so really happy with my habit tracker. I find that one is, yeah, the Strides app, I mean, it is so flexible, it's really nice, but I really miss my rainbow colored habit tracker. I'll see what we're gonna do next week. I think I will switch again. And that's about it. Week 8 is complete. Hooray! And with that, also 2/3 of my 12-week year. Yeah, it's going fast. Faster than I expected to be. By the way, these are the earrings I bought in Croatia. I forgot to show them in the vlogs, but yeah, they're really nice. What can we say about week 8? I knew I had to make changes after week 7. I stopped using the Strides app and went back into my habit tracker app that I like a bit more. I'm not 100% happy with it because it doesn't count weekly habits in the right way, but in the end it doesn't really matter because most important are the daily habits, and like the weekly habits I have maybe 3 of them at the moment, so it's okay. It's not optimal, but what kind of system is? Probably none. First of all, I actually reached 2 goals of this week. I finished my reading challenge. I read 24 books this year. Hooray! And I also realized I had reached my exercise goal, which is moving my body for 300 minutes per week. And I've been very consistent with that, probably past 4, 5, 7 weeks. So I think we can say I've achieved it. Compared to week 7, it had been a bit a more tricky week. I only had 82% on the habit tracker, and I think it's mostly because I had trouble sleeping. I also went to bed too late several times. Then I didn't have enough time in the morning, and then I didn't manage to eat breakfast at home, so I ate it at work. And yeah, it's kind of like a domino effect. I definitely see I have to work more on going to bed early enough and prioritizing that. I think sleep definitely is like a keystone habit, so yeah. But I really enjoyed then having my rainbow habit app again, so that definitely helps a bit. I also have decided to stop buying chips, like during my weekly grocery shopping. I mean, if I really want it, I can just go to the supermarket and get it, but I kind of like want to practice not having it in the house for like on normal times, and we'll see how that works. It feels a bit scary, but I'm gonna try. And I also see that the habit of like watching one YouTube video after work, I don't think that's the right thing. I think I will try a little more open habits, saying I want to do nervous system regulations exercises after coming home from work, like either reading or doing yoga or meditation or legs up the wall, something like that, but that I commit to do something like maybe 10-15 minutes, but having it a bit more flexible, because I definitely see some days I definitely could read, and sometimes I just feel like I just can lie down in bed. So yeah, I think I will change that habit. And also one other habit I will change, and that's from eating 3 times a day at the table. That's just something that has become a habit. I don't eat here or on the sofa anymore. Very rarely, maybe once a week or so. And then it's usually just one thing. So I think we can kind of like archive that as saying that has become automatic, and now I'm focusing more on having more nourished meals. So I said like I'm gonna do eating 3 nourishing meals per day, and we'll see how that goes. It's also fascinating to see now you're 2/3 into the 12-week year, the second one. I definitely can see some patterns. Like I feel like in the first 3 weeks of a 12-week year, you're very like pumped, you're very motivated, you get really high scores. And then you get into a slump, and I have to say, every time I don't even recognize that I'm in one. This time actually I listened to a podcast, talked about it, and I'm like, oh, I'm in a slump. Yeah, I definitely was for a few weeks. And then I think now after coming back from vacation, I definitely felt like, oh yeah, this is going easier now. But then your brain starts to be a bit more sneaky. Like in this week, I was just thinking, oh, next time if I do a 12-week year, do I really need to do a 12-week year? I can't just do 8 weeks. That's just totally enough. Now you change so much. So, and it's so fascinating how your brain tries to kind of like, yeah, actually stops you from doing something really healthy. Because I think in a 12-week year, because the first one is a bit like setting up and get going. The second part is like going through the hardship, and then the third one is really where things are showing, where the results are coming in, and where you really can see that your habits have started to be automatic. And so I think the last month is really important. I also feel like I'm very committed now for the last month to give my best. But there's also some sneaky thoughts in there. So I think I have to be a little bit on guard about these thoughts. But otherwise, I'm really happy with my last 4 weeks now, and really, really looking forward to week 9 to 12. And actually, because the Croatia videos become a little bit more than I had planned, I think you will already see, I think you will already see week 9 to 12 in 2 weeks, because then I'm done. When you see that, I'm already done with my 12-week year. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and it's always fun to see and getting some comments, and I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, and I see you very soon. Bye bye.